in case of on-premise, the upgrades are available every yearly. But in case of cloud, the upgrades are available every quarterly. Every quarterly upgrades are available on cloud. This is again one of the things that you should understand. So if I am a customer who is interested in going for SAP, and you are also another customer who is interested in going for SAP, I selected on-premise approach, you selected cloud approach. I implemented 15.11. Now SAP has came up with 16.10. It is my choice whether I want to go for 16.10 or not. But in case of cloud, every quarterly the upgrades are coming. So if you have installed 15.11, after that 16.02 came as an upgrade on cloud, and it was mandatorily needs to be upgraded. You don't have any control on that. Whatever new versions will come on cloud, they will be mandatorily upgraded. So 16.02, 16.05, then 16.10, then now I think 17.01 or 2 will come, or maybe it has already come on cloud. So in case of cloud, the upgrades are available every quarterly and they are not optional. They are mandatory for each and every client to upgrade the system. But in case of on-premise, as I told you, the control is with you. You can decide whether you are happy with 15.11 or you want to go with 16.10. If you don't want to go, not a problem. It is not mandatory. Right? So I hope you understood how things started, where we are today, and what is expected in the next versions.
Gaurav, Sharon.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, in this slide you said the SAP Business Warehouse powered by SAP HANA. So it says that the real-time analysis. So I mean, what I understood is from the ECC, the data was going towards BW as a, as a batch schedule or something. So how it is a real-time analysis?
Yes. See, when SAP BW came, so normally, as you said, in ECC, if I have a separate BW system, normally the data travels from ECC to BW either in the day end or in the weekend. Like you can define what time you want to transfer the data from ECC to BW, right? But now,
Yes.
with SAP HANA, there is a functionality called as replication. There is a SLT tool available, landscape transformation tool called as replication server. So you must have heard a term called as sidecar approach. Have you heard about that, sidecar?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So what is sidecar? Sidecar means you have ECC system and BW system which are connected via sidecar approach, which means whenever you do any transaction in ECC, immediately in real time the data will flow to BW system via the replication server, which is only possible in case of HANA.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that is the reason it is written that you will be getting the real-time analysis when you go for SAP BW on SAP HANA.
Okay. The next question is when the business suite powered by SAP HANA. So you have mentioned the SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud. So what is that?
Yes. So okay, let me just explain all these points. So when SAP came up with SAP Business Suite powered by HANA, which means ECC EHP 7 on SAP HANA, even for ECC customers, even for EHP 7 customers from 2013, the option was available for cloud. So if you are using EHP 7 and if you are using SAP HANA database, you can opt for cloud. So in short, the cloud solution is not something available for the first time. Cloud solution was available in ECC itself, but the prerequisite is that you are using SAP HANA database. You are using ECC on HANA database. So this was introduced for the first time here. The cloud solution was introduced for the first time for SAP in 2013.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Okay, so restriction would be same, right? On cloud, it will be like quarterly upgrade and no control.
Definitely.
When in
Yes,
2013, the SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud, the restriction would be, right? From what you discussed for S4 HANA, that the cloud version, the flexibility is not there, or the upgrade would be quarterly upgrade. So that would be the same case for business suite powered by HANA.
Upgrade wise, no, because the upgrades are only available on SAP S4. But otherwise, the control, whether you want to go for some Z transaction that you want to create, that all restrictions were there because it is again the public cloud. which is being shared by multiple customers.
Okay. And the last question is related to S/4HANA. When you said that on the cloud we have the quarterly upgrade which is being done. So during that period, would there be any downtime?
Possible. Like if you are on the cloud solution and upgrades are being done, there must be some downtime, but normally it will happen on the off business hours. So they will provide you the timeline maybe 1 month earlier that we are going to perform this thing. So the server will be available for this much time. But when you are talking about the upgrades, they are not going to take much time because we are not going to change the version. We are not going to change many functionalities. So it will be only 3 to 4 hour task.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Gaurav.
This is Vijay Gaurav.
Yeah,
I have a question. Yeah, the difference between 1511 and 1610 is only the cloud upgrade, or is the functionality upgrade as well? I mean, a simple line text was there in 1511 also or not?
Yes. 1511 and 1610, it is a functionality upgrade, but 1511 also has the simple logistics functionalities available. So as I told you, in 1511, the concentration was on simplifications of MM, ST, and PP. So in 1610, we are also talking about some of the simplifications available in APO, some of the simplifications available in EWM. So these things were not available in 1511. So 1511 was concentrating on the core functionalities. But yes, logistics simplifications were available starting with 1511.
Okay. So both the versions doesn't have a service management simplification or plant maintenance simplifications, right?
Sorry, which topics you said?
1511 and 1610, both are not having simple service management, plant maintenance kind of functions, right?
Service management, some of the things are simplified in 1610, but we need to check what are that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Even the industry-specific solutions. So some of the industry-specific solutions were supported in 1511. Now they have increased the industry solutions which are going to be supported for 1610.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Now, as we understood what is exactly SAP S4, I hope you are now able to understand how exactly all these things started, what is the difference between SAP HANA and SAP S4 HANA. This should be very clear to you, because normally if you ask a person outside, there are many chances that the thinking in the IT industry is that, SAP industry is that if I'm using SAP HANA database, I'm already on SAP S4 HANA. So that is something which you need to be very careful. When you are using SAP S4 HANA, it means the application you are using. So either you are using 1511 or you are using 1610. If you are not using, if you are on ECC, you are not at all on SAP S4. You might be on SAP HANA if you are only using the database. Okay, but now to summarize, let me talk about the 3 key enablers. What are the 3 key, what I can say, the backbones of SAP S4 HANA? So obviously, you know, SAP HANA is a very first backbone without which we cannot think of coming up with all these simplifications. What are you going to achieve from SAP HANA? OLAP and OLTP are merging together. You are getting in-memory computing, at the same time compression. As we discussed, when you are storing the data in the form of rows as well as columns, so in the columns you are performing the compression. Increase in speed, ultimately you want to achieve the speed which is provided by SAP HANA database. Second key enabler is SAP Fiori, through which you are getting the easy access to your transactions. You can perform your transactions in the easier way. So how exactly SAP Fiori is going to help you? So cross-application user experience, this is very important line, cross-application user experience. So let's say, take an example in ECC. If you are doing the transaction in ECC, you need to log in into the ECC system. If you want to do the transaction in CRM, user needs to log off from the ECC, he needs to log in into separate CRM system to perform the transaction, because 2 servers are different. Now, even today, when we are talking about SAP S4 1610, servers are still different, because you have a separate CRM login and you have a separate SAP S4 login. Maybe going forward, they both will be merged, but as of today, CRM is different and SAP S4 core system is different. Now, if the user wants to perform the transaction on SAP S4 Core, he can use SAP Fiori screen to do the transaction. Now in the between, he wants to perform the transaction on CRM. Now in this case, he doesn't need to log off from the current system, because using a same Fiori Launchpad, you can have the apps coming from different applications. So you can have one transaction which is coming from SAP S4 Core system, and you in the same Fiori page, you can have another transaction which is coming from CRM. So you don't need to log in into two different systems. You can perform the transactions from one screen. That is one of the important benefit of using SAP Fiori. So from multiple different applications, you can have a same user interface and you can perform the transactions from one screen itself. Okay. Second is web-based. So you are getting web-based application. It is not like application needs to be installed in your PC. That is not the case. You just need a link, the web-based link. You can enter that web link in any of the computer and it will ask for your user ID and password so that you can access it anywhere on any device. Again, from the security point of view, it depends upon your administrator whether he is allowing the access from anywhere or any device or not, but technically it is possible. So for example, being the Fiori administrator, I don't want the access to be given outside Office network. I'm just giving the example. Outside the Office network, you should not be allowed to use the Fiori apps. So that can be blocked from the administrator, or it can be blocked for a particular user. It can be blocked for the particular device. For example, this transaction cannot be done from mobile. This can be done only from, let's say, tab or laptop. So all that conditions can be mapped into your administration part. It is a role-based. So we'll talk about Fiori in detail. We'll have one, I think in the next session we'll be talking about Fiori, at least the overview. Role-based means whatever transactions you will be doing, it will be according to your role. So if you are a purchase manager, you should not be able to see the transactions which are related to accounting. If you are a sales manager, you should not be able to see the transactions which are related to purchasing. So that is taken care in Fiori also. So you will be only able to see the transactions for which you are authorized. There is some background noise. Do you have any question? Thank you. And finally, it is Decisive. Decisive means you can, there are a lot of apps which are available like approval process. So there is an app called as My Worklist. In My Worklist, it will give you all the options of approving. So if you are a purchase manager, it will give you the list of all the purchase order which needs to be approved. So all these things are directly available within SAP Fiori. Finally, the third key enabler is real-time and simplified. So this is now coming towards the processes. So SAP HANA is technical thing, SAP Fiori is technical thing, but as a functional consultant, what is our responsibility to get full out of SAP S4 is how it is real-time and simplified. So what are the aggregates which are not available? What are the indices which are not available? What are the new functionalities which are available? Okay, what is the change in the credit management functionality? What is the change in the MRP functionality? All these things will belong to this particular thing. So no aggregates and indices, you are getting higher flexibility. I'll talk about throughput here, and data footprint reduction. So ultimately you are storing less amount of, or you are consuming less amount of system resources, which will provide you again speed and which can save you a lot of cost. Why? Because if you are using your memory efficiently, in the future there are less chances that you require the additional memory, right? Now with all these key enablers, what are you achieving? So these are some rough figures which are provided by SAP according to their experience wherever they tried this product. 10 times smaller data footprint. So it can reduce your data footprint by 10 times, which means if your current, let's say your current data memory which you are consuming is 10 terabytes, just for example, so it will bring down to 1 terabyte. Again, these are rough figures. It may not happen in every case, but this is according to the average experience that they had from multiple customers. 7 times higher throughput. What is throughput? Throughput means output minus input. So why are we using SAP? In order to get more and more reports. But in order to get the reports, what we need to do? We need to perform the transactions. So transactions are input and reports are output. We want more of output and less of input. So we should spend less time in doing the transactions and we should concentrate more on output. So that is the throughput. So now the amount of time required to do the transactions will come down and you will be getting more and more real-time reports. So you are getting more of output and less of input, that is also 7 times. 1800 times faster reports that we discussed. Because of SAP HANA, you are going to get the speed that is 1800 times faster. And finally, 4 times less process steps, which means whenever you are doing any process, whenever you are doing any transaction, so the amount of steps that you need, like for example, when you create a purchase order, you need to go into 4 different tabs to enter the information. This is just for example. It may not be required in case of purchase order, but let's assume that you are entering 4 different things while creation of purchase order. Now with SAP Fiori, the screens are made simple, which means you need to enter minimum data. Most of the information will be copied automatically. Okay, so you are going to reduce your time by 4 times. Which means earlier if you were taking 4 minutes to perform a transaction, now it can be done in 1 minute. Okay, so these are at the high level what are the benefits of SAP S/4HANA from the technical point of view. Now in order to accommodate these changes, SAP has provided a lot of functionality related changes. That is exactly what we need to understand. So we'll talk about what has been changed from MM point of view, SD point of view, MRP live point of view, and how are we going to convert our existing ECC system to SAP S/4. So these are the things that we are going to discuss in the subsequent sessions. In our next session, we are going to talk about SAP Activate methodology, which is a new way of converting or implementing the SAP S/4HANA. So earlier we were using ASAP methodology, right? Now that ASAP methodology has been replaced for SAP S/4HANA implementations and conversions, we are not going to use ASAP, we are going to use the Activate methodology, which has its own set of phases. So we'll be talking about that phases. I'll be providing you different documentations related to Activate, which will help you in your projects. Okay, any questions related to today? I'm done with my part today, and if you have any questions, you can proceed.
Hey, Gaurav, this is Vijay. We talk about cloud with reference to server, whether we put on premises, like we own the server or somebody third party owns the server. That's cloud we're talking about. And how about cloud for customer, cloud for service? It's also related to the servers, or we are talking something on a Fiori based?
Cloud for service, I'm not getting you. What exactly you're talking about?
There are applications, web applications like Cloud for C4C and C4S, Cloud for Service, Cloud for Customer. What are they?
Okay.
They're apps in within SAP Fiori, or they're also like servers like Cloud we talk about. Somebody third party close those applications.
Yes, exactly. They are third party applications. Let's take an example. So today, as we discussed, within SAP S4, you can have Ariba, you can have Hybris, you can have SuccessFactors. So these functionalities, they, as you must be knowing, that they were not part of SAP earlier. All these were different companies. SuccessFactors was a different company, Ariba was something different, Hybris was something different. But as they grew, like everybody was connecting SAP with Ariba, Hybris. So now they are very much part of SAP products. SAP has purchased everything, Ariba, Hybris and all. So these are the functionalities which are only available as a part of cloud solution. They are not available on premise. So you cannot go and ask for Ariba licensing that I am going to use it on premise. That is not possible. So these are the functionalities which are available on cloud. These are some things which are the separate technology altogether. They have nothing to do with Fiori.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a front-end, a web-based front-end for the existing functionality. Like if you say Cloud for customer, all the SD functionality will be web-enabled. The customer can log in and he can do whatever, like selecting the product, placing the order directly, like internet sales. It's not like that.
That is like that, but that is a separate functionality. So you cannot say if I want to use a Fiori, I can directly ask my customer to update. Only if you are using this cloud-based technology C4C, then only the customer will be able to do that. So that is a separate functionality altogether on top of your SAP S4.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, any other questions?
So the latest version, another question on 1610, if I am a SD guy, and do I need to do something on Hybris or without Hybris? Do I know it? I'm working on a Hybris or I'm working on a SAP SD? Is there any difference between Hybris and SAP SD?
Yes, definitely. See, Hybris is something which is on top of your SD. So for example, the functionalities which are available on Hybris, they are integrated with SD in order to provide you the interface. But if you talk about SD, SD has its own set of functionalities and Hybris is completely different.
Okay, so when I'm working on 1610, am I working on Hybris functionality or am I working on SAP SD functionality or both?
It can be both, but definitely SD. See, for example, let me give you an example. If I go back to the SAP core system, just give me a minute, this slide which we have seen. See,
Yeah.
if you see, this is your SAP core system, SAP S/4HANA core system, which has the core functionalities available like SD, MM, PP, everything is available here with simplifications, right? Because of simple logistics. Now, even after that, even after using the SD functionality, you want some additional functionalities which are available in Hybris. For example, web-based portal to create the orders and all that Hybris technologies. So in that case, it is optional whether you want to activate this or not. But this is something which is already available within SAP S4.
Oh, okay. But Hybris is, I think it's a billing tool, right? It's not a complete SD. It's only a billing tool, I guess.
Exactly. So it is not going to be same as SD. SD is whatever you were getting the functionalities within the ERP that you will get in SD. On top of that, if you want some additional functionalities which are available in Hybris, like billing you said, like the order taking you said, that can be merged with Hybris if you have the requirement, but it is not mandatory.